Hello, and you're listening to FPcast, the official podcast of Fruitless Pursuits, where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I'm Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we're talking about...
Movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more.
Shades.
Blindness.
Well, yeah, 50 Shades Darker. See, that's what the poor blind man in Don't Breathe, the movie that we're going to review today, I feel sorry for him. One, because he's blind, and two, because he's never going to be able to watch this new 50 Shades Darker trailer.
And in the 50 Shades Darker, they're putting on masks, which, if you put a mask on incorrectly, you could be blind as well.
Yes.
I think what you're trying to say, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, look, I'm a feminist, etc., it's 2016, but what you're saying is we all wear masks in life, and we're all blind to certain facts and realities about ourselves, and I guess in 50 Shades case, our loved ones.
Absolutely.
So gosh, what a Pandora's box we're about to open, and all these squiggly little things are going to come flying out with their little teeth and bat wings and harpy claws.
Yes. Well, funny you say Pandora's box, because Pandora's box is also tied into the book that I'm going to review today. They talk a lot about Pandora's box in The Girl with All the Gifts.
Oh, I can't wait to meet Pandora. Talk about her box later on. So there we go. Look, so everything's connected.
It is, yeah.
Basically.
Completely accidentally, and we didn't discuss any of this before the show started.
Intricate puzzle.
Yes.
So if you're wondering what the pieces of that puzzle are that you're about to, at the moment they're just all laid out on the table and we're sorting out the corners and things. But by the end of it, you're going to look back and you're going to see the big picture. And that picture is our podcast today.
Yeah.
And this is what's exciting, because we see all the pieces. We don't know exactly what that picture is going to look like at this point.
And sometimes we recognise that we're just going to have to cut those pieces into different shapes just to make them fit.
Sometimes you have to jam one in.
Just make them fit.
Sometimes, don't you love technology? You can take a photo of the box and then cut out that missing piece and just stick it in.
Perfect.
Sometimes I just take a photocopy of the box and then just lay that picture on my table and just look at it and enjoy it. Yeah.
But isn't the picture already on the box? You can just look at the box.
That's true. Sometimes I just cut the lid parts off the box so it's just flat, and then I just look at it.
Yeah.
Because I think my philosophy is... Because, time is a premium, I think I didn't break it. Why should I put it back together?
Exactly.
We're going to review Don't Breathe.
We are. Thank you for that recommendation, Sarah. It was a very good one, because I completely forgot that movie existed.
We just saw it. It saved us from Spin Out. We went and saw Don't Breathe instead. You know what a great alternate title for that movie would be?
What?
You're Fucked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not call it that? You're fucked.
If it was an Australian-made movie, it would 100% be called You're Fucked, or You're Rooted.
You're rooted, blind Wortho. And look, that's a pretty good segue as well, because it's pretty slow on the pop culture news front. But then we don't talk about Sam Wortho as much as we used to.
No, because he's not really doing anything.
Which is a bloody shame.
It absolutely
An absolute bloody shame, because...
bloody Jaico's come in and stole all his roles.
Oh, no. Once you're Captain Boomerang...
Exactly.
That's just pretty much making a play for Australia. In my mind... Wortho is still the best bloody actor in Australia, only because...
Yeah, I mean, he's a bit like Odin. He just kind of sits on the throne. He doesn't, get out there as much as Thor does. But, when the shit hits the fan, Wortho's going to be there.
He's having the Wortho sleep.
Yeah.
On the couch.
Yeah.
Which we saw a glimpse of in Paper Planes.
Yeah, we did, yep.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
When he was like, oh, Dad, come out, we're going to make some paper planes, and throw them across the pool in Sydney. And he was like... Oh, fuck, mate, Sydney's a long way away, eh?
He's like, I've got all these VHS tapes of the cricket to watch, mate.
I've got to watch these cricket tapes, eh, mate? Sorry, I know you love your planes, Tacker. But, you brought up something, and I thought you were jumping the gun a little bit. But it was like you had a kind of vision, a sort of like a force vision, like when Luke sort of went, oh, Han is pretty rooted on Bespin.
Yeah.
You notice we're going into that. You can't talk about Wortho
No, absolutely not.
without affecting your voice a little bit.
Well, it's against the law.
Because if you're a new listener, I don't normally talk like this, mate.
I mean,
but
a bit like this,
except,
but not quite.
except when we talk about Wortho, because he's the best bloody actor in Australia, and we know that because he was in Avatar, which was the best bloody movie ever made. You don't believe me? Look at how much money it made. And we know as movie critics, if things make money, if they make the dollaroos, then they've got to be the best. So look, Suicide Squad, you know, it wasn't a little battler. It went out there. It made some cash. Boomerang, you know, got his investment back. But he's not Avatar. It's not Avatar.
No.
So Wortho, remember him and his partner Lara Bingle. She's the "Where the bloody hell are you?" person in the ad, and it was improvised. That's pretty much her catchphrase. That's just what she says all the time.
Absolutely.
Like
she's like Groot.
Yeah.
But it's just where the bloody hell are you in different inflections.
Yeah, or variants.
Yeah.
Like she wakes up in the morning. Where the bloody hell am I? Oh, you're in bed, bingo. You're home in Rockingham. They had a baby a while ago. We reported on this called Rocket Zot.
Little boy.
Yeah, which was fantastic
The
because
prince to the Worthington
Fortune,
kingdom.
Legacy, which was amazing because it was a name that was far stupider than anything we could have guessed. So we were quite thrilled at that. And we reported, I was thinking not that long ago that Bingo was pregnant again. And I thought, you said, has she had that sprog yet? Has she dropped that sprog, you said?
I did. I said exactly that in the car.
Because you woke up this morning.
I did. I woke up this morning and literally my first thought was, should Lara Bingo have had her baby yet?
Yeah, you had a drop sprog on your nog.
On my nog.
Didn't you?
I sure did.
Woke up with a drop sprog on your nog. And who hasn't had that occasionally?
Yeah.
So now it sounds like this is going to be too exciting because, look, she hasn't dropped the baby yet.
No, but we did some investigative journaling, Googling.
And some maths.
And a bit of maths, yeah. And when July?
The announcement was July. Yeah, I'm preggers. I'll confirm it. All right. Stop looking at me gut, she says.
And she was 6 months along then.
That was the bombshell. 6 months along.
Yes, and then we found another news article from last month that said she's within weeks of dropping the sprog.
So, where is the baby? Is he having a little Wortho sleep in there?
Maybe.
Just like, oh, I don't want to come out, Mum. Oh, come on, you know, where the bloody hell are you, Sprog, is what you should be asking.
Yeah, because, out of, most people, surely they would be the ones selling the photos to Women's Day.
Yeah.
It's they're not going to wait until the kid's a year old and then be like, oh, yeah, I suppose we had a baby, we called it Copernicus forehead or something.
Come on, I need to sell those photos to Women's Day, Bingo, to get me some beer money. Get some bloody ciggies. Come on, I'll stick the camera up your fanny if I have to. You know, that's the sort of conversation that's happening. If you were a blowfly on the wall, and there's probably a lot of them to choose from out in the bush in Rockingham.
In Rocco, yeah.
Yeah. And, all those half-eaten pies on plates and stuff on the floor and the couch. Where, because when Anthony Hopkins in Thor, when he had his sleep, he was in this sort of chamber, wasn't he? This sort of Michael Jackson sleep chamber, but not Wortho, his is the couch.
Yeah, or maybe he's just got because you can't use sunbeds anymore, right? Because they give you cancer.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just got a decommissioned sunbed that he just lies in,
and
pops the top over and just goes for a kip.
Well, that's not far off what they put him in to restrain him every time that bloody blue cat was on.
Well,
in Avatar, wasn't it? Because, my legs are a bit withered because I've been watching a lot of cricket tapes on the couch. So they were like, well, we're going to get this blue cat out. Blue cat, I don't want to see no bloody pussy fucking cat thing. I'll punch it in the gob. No, that's why we're going to put you in this chamber where you can't.
Yeah.
Where you go, oh, now I've turned into a bloody blue cat. Oh, this movie's the pits. But best movie ever.
Exactly.
So it turned out all right in the long run. So where is the baby? That's what we want to know. Either they've had it in secret. Maybe she's had it. Maybe it's just slid out and she hasn't even realised yet. He's buried under a pizza box or something. Poor little blighter. So that's a problem.
Well, I think I would hope we will have a Bingo Baby announcement by the end of the year. And
Well, I would hope so too. Or otherwise, next time you
comes
see
out
her,
shriveled like a sultana.
yeah, there's going to be a bloody leg sticking out of her.
Well, no, I imagine she'll have it very soon. But I
Yeah.
hope there is an announcement
Oh, yeah,
of
yeah. Share it
the
with the
arrival of the
world.
baby and hopefully the wonderful name, because they've had all
Yeah.
this time to think up who the successor to Rocket Zot is going to be. I'm very excited, and we will be reporting on it as soon as the world finds out.
Yes, you might think this is non-news. You're wrong.
I mean, have you listened to this podcast?
This
the
is
last
this
couple of years?
is the sort of thing that we need to start preparing for and thinking about now. I was hoping
I want
she
to
could.
start monogramming some baby booties so that
Yeah.
we can send them.
I was hoping she would cook this thing until Christmas because I thought a bright star appearing over Rocco. Mm-hmm. I don't know where they're going to get three wise men from around there.
They'll have to just import them from somewhere else.
Turning up in their utes, doing some spin outs on the way. That could take them a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm curious. You got to place your bets now on the name. I feel like remember last time there were a lot of people going Rocket Zot, huh? You taking the piss? Pull the other one. It's got bells on. Bingo. And she was like, oh bloody hell, leave us alone. Hey, that's like an important name. So I'm wondering if they'll play it safe this time. Like, they'll call it Steve Wortho.
Okay. Yeah.
That, of course, is if it's a girl.
Or like Trevor.
Trevor. Also, another Rocco
Yeah.
girl's name.
Yeah. But it's spelt like Trehva. Trevor.
Oh, fuck. Speaking of which... There's all these lotto ads that I pass in bus shelters on the way to work, and they're like, they're just letters, they're just quotes saying, people saying what they would do if they won lotto, but they're all like names like Tasha and stuff, and they're all like, oh, get me mum a tapas bar and stuff like that.
Oh, fuck, that's
I
specific.
know, it's just weird. They're the sort of people that they're talking to. So look, that's news, that's something to chew on, but the other thing that was interesting when we did do our little bit of Google Foo, we ended up on the Women's Day website, which I recommend you make part of your day, even if you're not a woman. And we had never seen a photo of Rocket Zot before.
No, because look, as much as we do love the Bingle Worthington family, we don't seek out pictures of their infant children because that's a bit weird.
Yeah, but here is a picture of the little bugger. And I've got to say, Thread delivers. I think we should definitely put this on our Facebook page.
Absolutely. He's got a handful of crackers. He's got a
some
cracker
Jats.
in both mitts.
He's got some Jats crackers, one in each hand. He's got a gob full of crackers, and his gob's open, so you can see the crackers.
The midriff showing.
Midriff showing.
Just like Mum.
He's got a toddler belly. He's not, look. I shouldn't criticise little Tacker too much because he kind of looks a bit like me, really. But he's got a bit of a glaze.
Better not let Wortho hear that.
Yeah, got a bit of a glazed look in his eyes.
He's drunk on jazz.
Yeah, his nose looks a little bloody to me. He looks like he might have some dried blood around his nose. Maybe he's been in a bar fight or something, like, punching up the other kids. His hair's like a little bit Crocodile Hunter, I reckon.
Yep.
In fact, he looks a little bit like the Crocodile Hunter, and he's got a drop crotch.
Yeah, he's got little drop crotch trackies on.
Yeah.
So I guess more room to fit the nappy, I suppose.
Oh, more room to... I don't reckon he was wearing a nappy. I reckon that's just full of jats from yesterday. It's just jats in my dax is what the caption here says. So, yeah, look, absolutely fantastic. And it says, this little cutie, so the quality of journalism here, because he's clearly just a fucking little baby beast, is about to become a big brother. So, holy crap. Rocket
He's like a little tater tot right there.
Look at that little prince. Look at that nugget. Little bunty boy coming in, and a Hellraiser.
Absolutely.
A little bloody Hellraiser legend.
Yeah.
So take out a look for that. Look out for that. Oh, there! Look, he's looking a bit more civilized there with Wortho. Oh, look, Wortho's wearing glasses.
Oh.
That's sort of like Clark Kent. Like you can pretend.
I bet they don't have lenses in them.
Yeah, but we know what's under there, like a fucking madman, for sure.
And look, Bingo's wearing a jacket over her shoulders, so if,
She doesn't have her arms in.
like, if something happens, she's ready to fucking fuck that jacket right off and get stuck in.
I just think, like, you know, she's like, what the bloody hell is this? It's your jacket, Bingo. Yeah, but what are these bloody tubes for? I don't need them. Nah, you put your arms in them. I'm not fucking putting my arms in anything.
I don't know what's down there.
She's got a hand in a pocket, though.
Yeah. Well, she knows what's in there.
Oh, look, times are tough. Look at the big hole in the jeans. So, yeah. So, definitely got to sell those pictures to Women's Day as quickly as possible, in my opinion. Do you reckon, like, 15 minutes is long enough to talk about this bit of non-news?
There is no amount of time that is long enough for us to be talking about the Worthington family, but perhaps, as amusing as we do find them, we should spare everybody else.
Okay.
And stop talking about the Worthingtons.
But we haven't forgotten, all right?
Never forget.
50 Shades Darker. That's the new trailer. Everybody's getting a little bit crazy right now.
I mean, very brave of them to use the exact same fucking song
Yeah.
as the first movie, but, you know, they are as brave as Apple taking the fucking headphone jack out of their phones.
It was time for us to get a new 50 Shades movie. I think we really should have had one this year.
We should have,
I'm a bit disappointed in that. I think if you take too long, by the third one, it's going to be like, oh, let me take my teeth out, and lots of gummy kisses, and
I think they had to beat... I think they had to... beat Jamie Dornan into submission and, have his lawyer explain to him that he can't get out of his fucking contract as much as he would like to.
It was one of my favourite films of the year that it came out, which was, 2002? And it's been so long between drinks that I don't even remember their bloody names. I was thinking, who played Mr. Grey? So Jamie Dornan. And what's the other one?
I don't know.
She's Melanie Griffith's daughter.
Dakota Johnson. Because she got her daddy's name.
Yeah. And look, if you've seen how We Speak the Truth, and women in Hollywood, once they hit 40, fuck knows what's going to happen. Look, some of them make it, but some of them turn into California raisins overnight. Like, it just becomes...
Some of them fight through that big trawler net.
And they become invisible to audiences, which is the problem. A lot of the time, you come out of a movie and you go, that was great. You don't realise there were 3 women over 40 in it because you didn't see them. You didn't see them in there. Like, remember, there was 3 of them in the big airport fight in Civil War. No one talks about that.
What?
Yeah, I know, you didn't see them. They disappear. So, Melanie Griffiths, bless her, who, back when I was a young hormonal man, bear in mind I'm quite old, and I would see her in stuff like, Working Girl, because she was a leading lady, red-haired, feisty, I'd say, yeah, she's a bit of an alright. But she hasn't aged gracefully. And I think a lot of that's, on her, because she's had a lot of work done. Like, she looks like a weird sort of rubber baby thing happening. It's strange. And not very movable, not very expressive. So I think, who knows how Dakota Johnson will go. But I'm just saying, they might be introducing the mask now because she might have to wear it for the entire third movie. It's a race against the clock. In terms of there's a lot of thrillers with time limits and things like that. I feel like that element has seeped into 50 Shades Darker. So and Kim Basinger's in there, I think.
Yes.
She has to wear a mask as well. She only showed her face for a second and they were like, oh, that's enough. We've tested with audiences.
We don't want to show in the trailer that there might be a woman over 40.
Yes, exactly. Because
that'll just turn audiences away.
That's right. They're going to have to give out empty popcorn buckets for people to vomit into when they see a woman over 40 on the big screen.
I think she's playing... It's been a long time since I read the books and I can't remember anything that happens in them, but I think Christian has like an older woman that taught him how to be
a creep,
a creepy fuckboy.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think that's her.
That. Yeah, and that's her. She is the one. And it looks like there's some quite a few ghosts from the past coming in. Not literally, it's not suddenly a ghost story, but women that, you're not the only one that tried to save him, says one woman to Dakota Johnson.
Very creepily.
Yeah. So, look, I'm really excited, though. The one thing is that you had a pretty great director last time. You had somebody that was just taking a whole lot of shit and doing some sort of fun things with it. I wanted to say the director was Samuel Taylor Coleridge, but I think that's like the poet that wrote the Albatross. It was Aaron Taylor Johnson's partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And she did a great job. You know, it was like a big budget version of The Room. So I hope this new director...
The worry is that they'll take it a little bit too seriously.
Well, this new director is James Foley and Glenn Ross he did. So, you know, that's all right. Madonna Celebration, the video collection. I think that could be handy.
One episode of Twin Peaks, one episode of Hannibal.
Yeah, Madonna, the Immaculate Collection. He did the video for Papa Don't Preach.
Oh.
So I think if you can turn some of that...
Oh, he's doing 50 Shades Freed too.
Yeah. Well, you've got to lock him in. You can't mess around, or otherwise things just take too long.
God.
So I reckon it's like, you know, when they got that Harry Potter bugger, just to suddenly... Like, they've been having different directors, and there's lots of... And then they were like, let's just get this dude, he's cheap, and lock him in. And they did. And then he made Tarzan. So, which you liked. So, more for you.
Yeah, so I can't remember what stuff happens between the, like, what stuff was in the second book and what stuff was in the third book. So I'm just looking at this trailer going, none of this is coming back to me. But that's exciting because it means that I'll be surprised.
It was very sexy.
Oh, so sexy. Like that. They had,
steamy.
like, the sex in the shower.
In the rain, maybe?
Maybe?
Or was that the shower,
I think
too?
they were in the shower, weren't they?
Was it an outside shower?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was. There were lots of liquids just flying around.
Sure were.
Everywhere. And helicopters, Ultimate Fighting
Fireworks.
Championship posters. Fireworks as a metaphor.
Yeah, absolutely.
For the, like, explosions that are happening in their pants. I wonder if the CGI pubes are going to make a comeback. Maybe for both of them. Maybe Jamie could have a big CGI dong.
I think I remember one of the movies. There was a big, like, plot point, and I hope they're going to keep this in because it's fucking insane. Where he makes her go on the pill, and because they're going through different time zones or something, she doesn't take it at exactly the same time each day.
A gremlin?
And I don't know. And he goes crazy at her for not taking the pill properly. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening here?
I hope. It looked like they had a bit of helicopter trouble. I hope she falls out into the rapids and he has to lower his dong down. And she has to climb up it.
He has to, like, lower
it's
down
flaccid, and then he has to think about sexy things, and it just raises her out of the water.
Or he has to, like, use his favourite horsewhip to get her out of the rapids, and then he drops it, and then he's angry at her, and then he punishes her with his second favourite horsewhip.
Or he's like, pull the balls out of your ass, they're buoyant. and she, like, pulls them out and just floats along them. And then the helicopter blades break, so he helicopters his penis above his head, and they fly back to his mansion.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, it's Twilight fan fiction, so why can't these things happen? Because he is an immortal vampire.
Yep.
And I'll be very disappointed if that's not revealed by the end of the third movie. Okay, and the other trailer, we just watched this. I only want to mention this because it's called Nocturnal Animals, and it's got a good cast and an intriguing name. So you've got Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal and aforementioned Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon? Yeah, fucking great cast. And it's all, like, sort of a bit weird and surreal and artsy and kind of thrillery, but it made me realise, and I realised this as well last week when we watched some stuff, I'm having a lot of trouble following trailers at the moment. Like, I just watch it and I don't know what the fuck that's about. Like, it's called Nocturnal Animals, and I'm thinking, okay, possums, sugar...
The numbats and shit.
Things like that, yeah. Great.
There's not one animal in this trailer.
No. And Amy Adams is like, I can't sleep. And I'm like,
it's because the possum's in your roof.
It could be, yeah. But then, no. But look, I've studied film. I go, you're the nocturnal animal. And then she goes, my husband used to call me a nocturnal animal. And I'm like, I was right.
Great.
Yeah, I'm following
Cleared up.
And then it's like, he's written a book called Nocturnal Animals, and he's dedicated to me, and it's violent, and it's weird, and they've got some weird past. She did something bad to him. I got that bit. And then there was just lots of, like,
Scenes of people looking angry and sad.
blinking.
Yep.
I'm looking down and blinking. I swear that, like, when they bring up the character name or the actor names and Michael Shannon looks down and blinks, swear that's slowed down footage. Like, I bet you if you watch the movie, that's just nothing. But it's just like, here's a moment where I'm just kind of doing something. And then Aaron Taylor Johnson. Is it Aaron Taylor Johnson or no, Aaron Paul? Which one is it?
No, Aaron Paul's
It's
the
Aaron-
Breaking Bad one.
Yeah, okay.
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Well, I couldn't tell because he was, like, wearing comedy hillbilly hair and makeup.
Yeah, it was a nice surfer wig.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So, some things are happening and everybody's talking, like, slowly and intensely. And there's music and...
Yeah. I think isn't the point of a trailer to kind of, like, sell you on the movie and make you want to see it?
Do you think that it made you think, like, she was going to take her dress off in that shot? You know, she's, like, looking in the mirror in the green dress and it looked like she was going to, like, get her boobs out?
No, I think it had lost me long before then.
Okay. Yeah. So, Nocturnal Animals.
Yeah.
So, if you're a big possum fan and you're looking forward to I would skip it.
Yeah. I mean, on the back of that trailer, I'd probably be skipping it anyway.
Yeah, it's weird.
Possum
I don't
fandom
know.
or not.
It was intriguing. That's why I wanted to mention it. I'm like, I wanted to know more, but then I sort of got confused. I don't know. Something weird about it. So, yeah, have a look. We got a trailer in the movies today for another Underworld.
Yes.
Blood War.
Yeah, I hadn't. I'd seen that the trailer had come out during the week or last week or whenever, but I hadn't bothered to watch it because I don't think I've seen any Underworld movies
I
at all.
don't either. And after seeing, was it Love and Friendship? And going, Kate Beckinsale. She's, I quite like her. I thought, I'm doing so much drawing at the moment. Should I just watch all the Underworld movies?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be
I don't know if they'll
opposed
be
to
to my liking.
Oh, how funny. But no, it's got like...
How funny.
It's got... that's not even funny, dude. It's got Charles Dance in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And Edmure Tully.
yeah. Look, Game of Thrones actors
Like, because
stay
they have
together.
such a big off-season, you know? So
Yeah.
they're just like a package deal.
They are
It's
with the
great.
agent. The agent's just like, I've got
Yeah.
5 Game of Thrones people in
Yeah.
the stable. There's bloody Charles Dance in the stable, whinnying, stamping his feet, just literally champing at the bit for a bit part in Blood War. Mm-hmm. Would you like to do Blood War, Charles? Oh, I'd love to do Blood War.
Though when I saw Edmure Tully guy, because he's in Outlander as well, I was like, oh my god, Outlander! I was like, oh no, he's in the other thing first.
All right,
Plus
so
Charles Dance.
God, I've never watched the Resident Evils either.
Oh no, I haven't watched those. Who's in that one? Is that Charlie? No.
No, that's
I can see her face.
I can too. And she's the wife of the director. And the audience is like going nuts right now.
Google it!
And they're going like, fuck you, I hate you. And they're just saying the name again and again, thinking that any second that we're going to say the name. And then they're like getting really tortured because it just keeps going on and
IMDb
on
faster,
and on.
dude.
Can you
Oh
beat
my
me?
God.
Come on, who is it? It's her name is, and wasn't she in that Three Musketeers we watched as well?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, well, you're supposed to be vamping.
Oh, well,
I'm looking at her now.
You're trying
I'm looking at
You
her.
need to do it faster.
I'm looking at her. No, but look, they're not named in order of importance. Am I looking at the right fucking thing?
I don't think so, dude. What are you doing?
Maybe this is the game. How tortured do you think
My
it was?
goodness.
Because I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to... No, it says director Paul... So hang on. Is she not in the first one? No, she's there. Mila Jokovic.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
I wasn't going to get there. I really wasn't going to get there.
No, I did not have that name in my head at all. I have
Fucking
a face in my head.
Lilu from The Fifth Element.
Okay.
Yeah. Bloody... There you go. Okay, now I'm on my phone. Now I don't want to talk anymore. I just want to look at stuff on my phone. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, she was. She was in Three Musketeers because she's... isn't she the partner
She was
of
Milady de Winter.
Paul Thomas Anderson? She was born in 1975. Year older than me. There you go. Look what she's done. Lots of Resident Evil movies. What have I done? 157 of these podcasts. So I don't know. I think the jury's out.
Who's the winner there?
Let the audiences judge. But yeah, I think maybe I'll watch Underworld. Should I watch Underworld? Let me know if I should watch Underworld.
I would be more tempted to watch Underworld than Resident Evil.
Well, I like Beckinsale more. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like baking sales more, though.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Cupcakes.
Glad that we cleared that up.
3 for $5. Should we talk about Don't Breathe, aka You're Fucked?
I guess we might as well, given that we are doing a podcast that revolves around movie reviews.
That is true. Very pragmatic. Okay, so Don't Breathe is a film about some 3 people. 3 young'uns.
3 young'uns. There's like a kind of a thuggy one, a girl one, and one that looks like a Jonas brother.
Yeah, and the thuggy one's called Money.
Yeah.
And he's got a
dollar sign
tattooed on his neck.
Just in case you weren't sure if he was the thuggy one or not.
A lot of people have, once the Joker got damage tattooed on his forehead, it became very legitimate. It was open slather. It was like, if you want to get a character across really quickly, fucking write it on them. Particularly put it on their head or whatever. Shorthand, which is great. I don't want a lot of backstory about Money.
Yep.
I don't want to know where he came from. I just want to know. I go, okay, I know what motivates him.
Yep.
So we're making it sound like it's bad. I really enjoyed this film. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, and they steal stuff. They're pretty low kind of burglars, but then they go for this big score from this Iraq vet who's blind.
And I would just say that their method of picking the houses is a very easily traceable method, but, apart from that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you know what? And the thing is, you're waiting for that moment when they get locked in the house with a blind man. And up until that, there's nothing special about this movie at all. Like, the characters
the dialogue is so clunky, and the characters are awful. But
like, you just think,
yeah, I don't care about these people. I hope they get shot by the blind man in the house.
But then it gets there pretty quick.
Yes, it does.
And then it's just, for me, it was just a thrill ride after that. I loved it. I had a lot of fun. But, yeah, I thought that, like, she wants the money, the girl one. Wants the money. And none of these are famous people, really, are they? But I thought they all did a pretty good job. She wants the money to take her sister away from a tattooed thug criminal and take her to the coast with a tattooed thug criminal of her own choosing. Yeah, bad choices, I thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole point of the movie is they make bad choices. And
That's
they'll get
true.
punished for them.
Why not call it Bad Choices, colon, the movie?
Bad choices, colon, you're fucked.
You're fucked. Brackets, you're fucked. Yeah, so it's a thriller. It's about suspense, and I thought that there was a part of me sort of about halfway through where I thought, well, in terms of this kind of movie about a group of unsuspecting young people being caught into a very dangerous, tense situation in a building they can't get out of, I thought Green Room is far superior. But then there's a point where you go, no, they're doing very different things. And I think that this movie, in terms of what it sets out to do, I think it's very successful. I think it's really nicely directed. I think it ups the ante a lot. It keeps you guessing. I wasn't, like, on the edge of my seat, terrified or whatever. In fact, I had amusement a lot of the time of, oh my God, you're going to do this now. This is great. Because it was upping the ante in a way that I was like, oh shit. And there's some pretty full-on left field stuff that comes out along the way as well. But yeah, I would give it 4 stars, especially when you're thinking about, well, does this movie achieve what it sets out to do? And I think for me it really did. We don't see movies like that very often in the cinema. So
I don't like them.
Yeah, because your nerves is bad.
My nerves is bad.
Like Kevin Hart. And because of that, I was quite thrilled by it, quite surprised by it. It was a lot of fun. It almost strikes me like when I'm playing the PlayStation or something, which I haven't done for a while, but when you play a whole lot of first-person shooters or a whole lot of a certain type of game, and then suddenly you get like a soccer game or something out of the blue, and you play it and you go, oh, this is fun. This is something that I don't normally do. And it's just a whole different experience when you're used to playing the same sort of theme again and again and again, which is what happens with a lot of those genre superhero movies. They all kind of blend together. So, yeah, and fucking Stephen Lang as the blind man, I thought he was fantastic. Really great physical presence.
He was ripped.
That's
He was a ripped old man.
And it's a tough role considering that it's not very vocal for a lot of it. You imagine, I just kept watching his performance and thinking, to get into that mindset on this little set with, not much around you and to be putting yourself into those intense kind of things, I thought it was pretty impressive. How did you go?
I thought it was fine. As I said, it's not really the type of movie that I usually enjoy. Turn your fucking phone off.
It is off. It just vibrated.
Yeah, I thought it was fine. I'd probably give it a 3. It didn't go... There were definitely some fucked up moments that kind of made me go, oh, but it didn't kind of go quite as far as I expected in some areas, and it did feel like in places that it was not dragging, but things were just kind of frustratingly going in a bit of a circle, where you felt like maybe there was going to be some relief. And I know that obviously in a thriller movie that they want to give you that sense of perhaps getting some relief and then take it away from you, but it just kind of kept getting taken away. And I think if you think about this movie too hard, there are some significant plot issues with it. But if you're willing to just kind of go with it, then yeah, you'll probably have a pretty good time. But it's just not my kind of thing. So I'd probably give it a 3.
Yeah, I think you've got some psychological barriers there as well, because I know you don't like horror, and then you're saying, I don't think it went as far as I might have thought it was going to. I reckon a lot of those films that you see the trailers for and you go, oh yeah, I'm never going to see that, probably don't do that either. I think, like anything, the imagination of what it's going to be like is always more. But I don't think anything is real. It's hard for me to think of a movie that has actually sort of scared me, or Green Room made me uncomfortable. That was the sort of, has a moment which is probably my most sort of revulsion where I've been like, But
that's because you don't like kind of medically kind of...
not so
those
much
kind of
since I've been on the anti-anxiety. I'm pretty fine with most things. I watched a fucking documentary about a boob job. I saw the incision and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, I don't mind that so much now. I certainly had big hang-ups about it when I was... my anxiety was at a high. But I think, and that's feedback that is becoming quite common for us, I think, as well. I mean, isn't that in a way kind of where we ended up with Sausage Party, where you kind of go, okay, well, if you are going to be the edgy, over-the-top crazy thing, well, yeah, kind of was. I mean, you said fuck a lot, but... So, so I don't know. I think it's harder and harder to be that breakthrough, especially when, in films where money is such a factor, but to really push the envelope. So... I feel in lieu of that, it's about deciding what you're going to do and doing it very, very well.
Look, it's a solid, competent movie.
Yeah. And I think a lot of my films that I've really enjoyed this year have been about that. They're not necessarily pushing the envelope, but they're films that have said, well, this is what we are, and have really committed to that and seen it through all the way. Even to, it's not on my top 10 list or anything, but even like Pete's Dragon last week. Goes, okay, we're that classic family adventure with a big heart at the centre, and it never fails at that. It does that all the way through, and I appreciate that. I think that's good. Simple job done well. Love it. Speaking of which, we've both saw...
Speaking of simple jobs done, well enough.
Oh, yeah, so, I recommend Don't Breathe. I think if you're interested, it was cheap at our cinema, so...
Yeah, it's leaving this week. I did like the trailer for this movie. It wasn't one that I had ever really planned to see at the cinema, but I probably would have caught it at some point, I guess. If you do like the trailer, then, go and... Do check it out.
Other thing I just wanted to quickly mention was, of course, it stars Stephen Lang as the bad guy, or the blind guy. The good and bad is a bit nebulous here. Everyone's bad, really.
Yeah.
But he was the bad guy in Avatar, best bloody movie in the world, so he's also one of the best bloody actors in the world, I imagine. Probably the best bloody actor in America, if Sam Wortho's the best bloody actor in Australia. And his name has come up recently because he was saying that he really, really wanted to be Cable in Deadpool 2. And, I think no one's really that sort of size that I picture Cable in the comics, but, you know, you can get around that with how you shoot the character, how you photograph them. But, yeah, I mean, he's quite old, but that was probably overemphasized in this film as well. But he was so engaging that I was beginning to think, yeah, I'm kind of on this train. Like, you know, you can imagine this, like, big buff, take no shit older guy having to put up with teaming up with Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool.
Because you can imagine the introduction scenes, like Cable takes off his jacket or something, he's wearing just like a singlet underneath, and Deadpool's like staring at his massive guns.
Well, one of them would be metal as well, because he's got a big metal arm. And I imagine that, because Deadpool, he likes to masturbate and think about masturbating and stuff like that, and he'd probably be just thinking about, like, what a jackhammer wank that arm would give, and he'd probably, like, make some jokes about, like, masturbating, because he's so out there.
I know.
And then...
what an edgelord.
Cable would be just, like, rolling his glowing eye and just being like, oh, you know... Cause,
never heard that joke before.
Yeah, he wouldn't be having a bar of it, but then Deadpool, I bet he would wink at us, the audience, and we'd get it. We'd know. I'd go, yeah, well, I know, this guy knows what you're talking about. Yeah, we're all a bunch of wankers here. So, yeah, looking forward to that. We saw Central Intelligence.
Ew.
The Rock and Kevin Hart. I was worried about seeing Kevin Hart, because I know his nerves is bad.
Did he even say that in the movie? No, that was in Ride Along.
No, that was Ride Along. Which, Ride Along 2?
Yeah, I was sort of waiting.
It's the same movie, though, right?
Yeah, I imagine so. I was kind of waiting for him to say it, and then I was like, when did I miss that? When did that happen? Completely wrong movie.
Oh, you know what? To his credit, because I think I said the other week, like, I just don't get Kevin Hart. But when I actually see him in something, he's never really playing the role that I think he's going to be playing. Like, he's actually quite grounded for a lot, like, in this film.
Yeah. Actually, this film wasn't, as far as the character setups and stuff went, it wasn't really what I expected at all.
It's, like, just such a middle-of-the-road mainstream comedy offering, and I don't mean that in a really negative way, because I actually found it quite watchable. Like, I went along with the journey and went, it's fine, and it kind of reminded me in a little bit like how I would react to movies like Beverly Hills Cop or stuff like that when I was younger, where you just go, okay, that was kind of a rollicking buddy action adventure movie, because, you know, those sorts of movies had the action bits. You would kind of go, oh, you know, this is actual action stuff, and then, oh, now we're having comedy laughs, and
then there'd be some bro bonding.
Yeah, and you just kind of come out of it and go, yeah. Like, I didn't find it as lazy and offensive as, say, like, Secret Life of Pets, which I think was really really hitting low. So it was enjoyable enough, although it was strange. Like, if you're going to sort of dig deeper, and it probably is a waste of time to dig deeper, but, like, The Rock is just this weird character in it. Like, I couldn't get around at the beginning, because he's a very sort of dopey, kind of affable, puppy-like character. Did you feel at the beginning, like, obviously you saw his childhood, and you saw where he'd come from, but you knew from the poster or anything that things had changed for him to become gone from this fat loser to this big buff agent dude. But I thought he was putting on the character, but he wasn't ever really putting on the character. He kind of was that character still. It was really muddy for me of, like, is he this comedic weird character or is he not?
Is he putting it on for face value? Yeah, because there was something... To, you know,
look less competent than he is.
Yeah, because there's something a little bit, I guess, stalkery and insidious in the way that he comes back into Kevin Hart's life, and so you're a little bit on the wrong foot with him straight away, even though he's presenting as this incredibly friendly, BFG kind of. You know, there's something more to. There's something a little bit off with him, but it never really eventuates in a way that you go, oh yeah, okay, now I get. Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was strange, and speaking of Deadpool. This is the third film character this year who was a sort of
tough hero guy who was interested in unicorns. So...
Year of the Unicorn.
Year of the Unicorn. Deadpool loves a unicorn. Captain Boomerang loves a unicorn. And The Rock in Central Intelligence loves a unicorn. So there's certainly, like, the writers in Hollywood are just like, he loves a unicorn. I don't know if they're like...
And they're not really they're not, like, plot points, really.
No.
Like, they're just, like...
It's a joke on itself.
Yeah, and then it's never spoken about again.
Like, isn't it funny that this guy likes a unicorn?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like them really late to the Brony party. Like they've just seen that Brony documentary and they're
From,
like
2 years ago.
Yeah, this thing now. But yeah, I thought that was kind of
it's a bit weird,
a strange one. But yeah, watchable. I think that it did feel like a throwback movie. I think that's why I'm mentioning those older films, because even the like female role is so nothing like his wife. And she's like a woman in a 90s or an 80s.
Yeah, like
movie.
they're going to couples therapy and then he's not turning up and... Because he's like, trying not to get shot and stuff.
And she's always wanting him to do stuff and he's always like, oh yeah, sweetheart, but he doesn't really want to. And then there's stuff like where, minor spoiler, The Rock pretends to be their counsellor. And it's very clear that he's not. And you've got 3 people in the room, 2 of which absolutely know what's going on. And she's like, no, I think this is great. I'm just going to go along with it. And it's like, yeah, you are the dumbest fucker. Because 3 people in the room, at the 300 in the audience watching it.
Yeah.
That's 302 people that know exactly what's going on, can see through this, but not the woman. She's like, this looks fantastic. I'll take all this at face value.
Doesn't matter that the psychologist's name on the wall or anything is like Maureen.
Yeah, she doesn't just walk in and go...
It's just like, oh, this is a big buff dude who doesn't look at all like this. But that's fine. Everything's fine.
Which is a shame in a way, because I think there's an opportunity there, and I think that's what the better current comedies do, is I think it's fine to set up those kind of scenarios which are very familiar, but then when you subvert that, it's even funnier. Like, if, they'd sort of set that up and she knew straight away.
Or even if, like, he walks in and he goes, oh, hey, no, this is not the right guy. And she goes, oh, okay, let's leave.
No, or if even she just, like, started putting pressure on him. And started, like, challenging him and asking him questions and making it difficult for him to keep up, as opposed to her being just oblivious while the 2 men do their buffoonery. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, look, if video stores still existed, I'd say a weekly rental.
Yeah.
When you
$3 weekly rental.
Yeah, when you had to pick up, you had to choose 5.
Yeah.
And you're looking at all the ones that have just gone to weekly from new release, and you're like, then that's when you pick this up.
Yes. Or
Netflix.
in a modern age, wait for streaming.
Watch it on streaming. We don't mean like, if you're an older listener, we don't mean like, there you are washing your clothes in the stream and a Central Intelligence VHS just comes floating down. No, that's not going to happen.
I imagine that's what will happen when they when all the VHSs come out and they just dump them in the river.
Yeah. They should build a dam out of old VHSs. There's a project. Get that on Kickstarter. I'll back it. All right. I was going to talk about some other movies. I don't need to. It's 50 minutes in. I think that was sufficient. You've got something to talk about instead.
I do.
Now, is this a VHS? It's this rectangular, bulky thing.
I mean, it looks a little bit like a VHS, but look, watch this.
Ooh. Whoa.
It is like
Won't that fuck up your machine?
It is. It's like cut up into like several hundred
like slices.
thinner pieces. Yeah.
And they've got words on them. Are they instructions on how to use this thing?
Not quite. So we got a copy of a review book from a website called Social Book Co, which is actually a pretty cool website because you go on there and you type in the book that you want. And it's like a search engine-y thing that searches all the sites on the internet and finds out where the cheapest place you can buy that book is.
Okay.
So it's cool. Like, that's a cool thing,
what's it
right?
called? I'm not... This isn't me being the... What's that name again or whatever? I don't actually know about this.
Yeah.
I'm finding out about this.
Yes. Social Book Co. So, like, short for company.
Why don't they say Soboko?
Dunno, man. You can ask them.
I will.
Give you their email address. So they sent me a copy of The Girl with All the Gifts. So not GIFs, like the little animated pictures on the internet.
Oh, because I would read that.
It would be pretty good.
By read, I mean click on it.
and then watch all the GIFs.
And watch the GIFs.
So The Girl with All the GIFTs.
Gifts. She's got a lot of... Now, I'm guessing these aren't gifts like toaster oven, pony, ping pong table, anything like that. I'm guessing these are like attributes.
Special powers.
Powers, yeah. Like, Xavier's School for Gifted youngsters.
Yeah, so like obviously Xavier's School for Gifted youngsters doesn't mean that he's giving them away. No, he's gifting the youngsters.
It wouldn't hurt him to
get rid of a few?
To give out gifts to people because he's quite rich. Or Miss Pelican's School for Amusing Fuck Babies, whatever that one's called. Yeah. I'll learn it when we see it.
Yeah. Oh God, when is that? A couple of weeks? Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, this book, I think I'd kind of ruined myself by going on Goodreads and reading all the like 4-star, 5-star reviews and thinking, oh God, this must be an absolute cracker. And we watched the
Jat's
Cracker. And we watched the trailer a couple of months ago now when that first came out. I remembered absolutely nothing about this trailer, so I just jumped into this book sort of head first, but I do remember that the trailer looked quite good. Like, I was quite intrigued to see the movie, so I was keen to read the book. Now, this is by M.R. Carey, which I imagine is Mariah Carey's pen name.
Look, I know from Book Was Better.
Yeah.
M.R. Initials. Mm-hmm. You're a woman who wants to sell as many copies as a man.
Actually, I think
I think's fucked.
No, I think this is actually a dude.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is. It's
I'm
based...
going to look at the book while you talk about it.
Okay. There's an interview bit at the back. So this story was based on a previous short story that he'd written, obviously pre-2014, which is when this book came out, which was about a girl that was sort of a little bit different and had been talking about, what she was going to do when she was growing up. But the kicker there was that she was probably never going to grow up. And this is basically an extended version of that short story. And I've got to say, it does feel just like an extended version of a short story. It starts off really, really solidly. It's super mysterious and you're really being dragged along by your desire to know what the fuck is going on. Because it's just, you're drip-fed all these tiny, tiny bits of information. But essentially, once you find out the bulk of what is going on, it turns into a bit of a road trip movie where it's similar to anything that would happen in like Walking Dead or World War Z or something like that, where there's some bad guys that they have to stop from being killed by, and they have problems with getting food and finding shelter, and so it ends up kind of almost devolving into any other zombie type thing. And given that it did come out in 2014, I couldn't shake that feeling of it almost being a bit of a cash-in on that zombie popularity of that time. So yeah, and I'd heard that like the ending was really great, and so I just went, okay, just push on, just keep going. The ending was surprising, but it also felt a bit unsatisfying because it's like this incredibly solid start, first third or so, really solid. This sort of kind of road trippy middle section that has like a few action sequences and a few bits of tension, and then it just kind of ends quite suddenly. And it ended, and I sort of went, oh, is that it? Okay, that was maybe not worth a couple of days of my time. And the thing is, because I'm not in a kind of reading routine as I used to be, so I didn't find the time to kind of sit down with the book. But what I did have is my iPad. So I went to iBooks and I paid $12 for this on my iPad. And,
even though you had the book? Even
though I had the physical book my hands. And yeah, I don't know if it was worth the $12. I didn't pay that much for 50 Shades of Grey.
True.
And I think I actually enjoyed 50 Shades of Grey more because that was batshit insane. I'm still looking forward to the movie. Maybe not quite as much as I was now that I know the story, but there's definitely some sequences that I am intrigued to see how they interpret.
That said, I feel like particularly now, movies, they buy the premise more than anything. Like, and I think that's good, and I think that's a way for us to be less precious about adaptations and stuff like that. It's like, look, I'm doing this comic project, right? I'm drawing away at my graphic novel, and it's not because I've got any delusions about it being a successful thing or comic or whatever. I'm really doing it just for me, but look, if it all turns out well and I'm enjoying how it's turning out, I will try and do something with it. But for me, if I had to be honest about the best possible scenario, I would love to just, like, fucking sell an option for a film. And it would be premise. Like, I don't expect for a second as the writer of this thing, oh, well, I put them in the woods now on page whatever, so they better be in the woods or I'm going to be furious. It's like, no, do whatever the fuck you want. Like, it's a great premise. Use the premise. Because that, Ready Player One, from all accounts, is a pretty shitty book, like, in terms of the way it's written. But I'm sure the Spielberg movie that uses the premise is going to be something different. And the Cowboys and Aliens, I mean, that movie sucked, but nothing to do with the comic other than the premise, I think, for the most part. So it's like, you're just buying a premise.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So this one, it does hinge on relationships a lot, but then, like, so does every other zombie thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's all about people's reactions to things and them, dealing with the situation and stuff. So, yeah, I kept having these thoughts of, I feel like I've read or seen something like that before, and then I was kind of thinking, well, was that, pre-2014 or afterwards? And yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel bad calling something in any way derivative if the things that I think I've seen may have come after it. But yeah, it just doesn't feel super fresh to me. And there's so many, like, glowing reviews on the back, and all the Goodreads reviews are so glowing, and I'm just like, have none of you guys seen any zombie things, like, ever before?
Okay, well, this is interesting because I've looked it up while you've been talking about this.
Yep.
Mike Carey is the author, so you're right. It is a male author, and he's done a whole shitload of work for comics, particularly Marvel. We were just talking about X-Men, and funnily enough, he's done a massive run on X-Men.
Oh, wow.
He did the Endangered Species, Messiah Complex, X-Men Legacy, Divided We Stand, a whole heap of stuff. And he's also done a whole lot of Fantastic Four, Batman, Hellblazer, all sorts of shit. So, yeah, and I think maybe the sort of thing you're describing, that sort of response to it, is probably how I feel about most mainstream comics.
Like the event things? Like when people read the events and then don't read anything else?
Yeah, and you read those reviews and people are like, oh, these comics are great. And you think, oh, cool, well, I like the characters, I like the movies, I like the concepts, I'll go and read them. And then you kind of go, yeah, there's something that just doesn't hit for me. Like, they're okay, but they're not... Yeah, they feel like derivative, or they don't feel like particularly well put together. And
like there's some interesting stuff in here, but the reviews were saying, oh, I read it in one day because I was so gripped and it was just such a page turner, and I was like, well, I didn't really get that out of it. I'd give it, like, it's a solid book. It is an entertaining book in the way that a popcorn movie is a popcorn movie. It's a popcorn book.
You can't trust
it's fine.
those. I mean, we know this from Book Was Better. You can't trust those reviews either. It's like the amount of really badly written novelizations we've read. And then you go to Amazon or whatever, and there are people like, this is one of the best books I've ever read and stuff. And it's like, you have not read many books. And I've even offered on some of those podcasts, if you go back, you'd have to find the specific ones, to say, if you were the person that wrote that review, get in contact. If we can verify it, I'll buy you a really cool book. Because you're just not reading anything.
But yeah, I would give this like a solid 3.5. It's solid enough. It wasn't, like I read 50 Shades quicker than I read this because I was more like curious about what the fuck was going to happen at the end.
Because it was a one-handed read.
I can't. No, anyway.
Cool title.
Yeah, and. As we were saying with the Pandora thing before, there is kind of a long a thread running throughout of the little girl is fascinated with Greek mythology and Pandora and all that kind of thing. But,
It almost feels to me like it's a pitch for a film.
There are things that I feel like the action sequences are a little bit better explained than, say, like that third Hunger Games book, which did feel to me when I was reading it like that she already knew that she had the film option for the 3 movies while she was writing the third one. So yeah, I do think this one is a little bit better written in that way, but still it does feel like something I'm probably a bit more excited to see than leave to the theatre of the mind.
Joss Whedon liked it.
Yes, Joss Whedon sure did like it.
Interesting, actually, that what you describe feels to me like a story sort of for everybody. Like a zombie sort of thing, great. But because it's the girl with all the gifts, the quotes on this book are like Vogue, Marie Claire, Harper's Bazaar.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's bizarre, Harper's. That's the demographic. I think that's kind of sad as well. Oh, it's a girl, so...
Yeah, and a lot of the reviews on Goodreads and stuff all seem to be women. It's like, my daughter loved this book.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Just because it's a girl. Whereas, I do have that experience of being able to, through work, put all sorts of books in the hands of young men. And they don't have that hang-up. You always hear older people go, oh, well, those things are for girls. Oh, they won't read that because it's about a girl. Or even with comics and stuff. But we get everything from, like, Squirrel Girl, Lumberjanes, Nimona, for all boys. And they love it because it's good stuff. It's, like, well-written and it's great. My comic star's a girl.
Yeah, I
don't get that sort of,
Yeah, I think this book probably would be enjoyed by, teenagers, teenage boys, teenage girls, because there are some kind of fun and gruesome action sequences and, everyone's pretty capable and good at what they're doing.
People just want good stories. Like, that's all it is. Good characters, good stories.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, the one killer bit for this? It's set in England. After, all the zombies have taken over. And
the author is British.
It's been 20 years and all that sort of thing. There's a bit where a character is talking about temperature. And look, perhaps the world has changed in 20 years, but they're talking in Fahrenheit.
It's a British author. I wonder if that's been changed for an American audience.
Maybe, I don't know, but I read that a couple of times and I went, hang on, did I miss, is this particular character American? I don't think so, because the whole thing is that they can't kind of get in or get out.
Might be regionalised.
Maybe.
Oh, but this was on your ebook version anyway, wasn't it? So. Oh yeah,
it was.
Yeah. So I wonder if this one, which is printed in Great Britain, has that. Curiouser and Curiouser. Oh god, I was going to talk about this, but I may as well just briefly talk about it now, because that's perfect segue. I saw a horrible movie called Criminal, which I told you about.
Yes.
It's like a throwback 90s, 80s action movie, and an agent dies, and he gets his memories put in a death row inmate. In the hopes that the death row inmate, who's like the worst person ever, will finish the mission. And I don't think this got a cinema release here, but it's like Ryan Reynolds is the guy, and Gary Oldman and Tommy Lee Jones, and the death row inmate is Kevin Costner. Gal Gadot is Ryan Reynolds' wife. It's just this like amazing all-star cast doing this really shittily written, like bog standard thriller. And Kevin Costner reminds me of his character reminds me of Marv in Sin City. Just this like big fuck off like lug that just does whatever he wants and has no compassion and stuff. But it's set in Britain, in I think in London for the most part. It should be just called American rather than Criminal, because he goes around and just like people will be eating something and he'll just pick the food up off their table and start eating it and then tell them to fuck off, and he's just like being a proud American and
taking hot dogs for himself,
doing whatever he wants and threatening to shoot people and just exercising his rights as given to him in the Constitution. But in terms of that regionalised stuff, the dialogue for the British people is fucking hilarious. Like, it's all just like Cockney governor wank.
God.
But the funniest thing is, like, Kevin Costner's remembering with Gal Gadot or something, and he's like, We got a car. It smelt like fish and chips. It cost us 1,000 quid. And it's like some American writer sitting there
Just Googling
looking at a glossary.
British words.
Yeah, British slang on and going, okay, yeah, so they must use these words, at least 3 of them a sentence.
Core blimey.
Yeah.
Fish and chippy.
And there's a few times they don't never say pounds or anything. They're always saying quid. And it's like, hey, you owe me some quid, mate. And it's like, oh, fuck off. So, yeah, just crazy, crazy film. Speaking of America, God, that's something we didn't mention about Don't Breathe. Isn't Detroit a beautiful city?
Oh, yes. So rustic.
Number 1 country in the world. All right. Look, I think that's our show.
It is.
Excellent. Look, most original thriller you will read this year, it says on the cover.
Yeah, as long as you don't read any others.
Not according to FB's Jacinta. So there you go. Put that on the fucking cover. Thank you for listening. Please go to fruitlesspursuits.com if you want to find out more. Book Was Better is still on hiatus. I'm about to reveal chapter 2. I've got 1 page left of my comic as well, which I'll put on the Facebook page, which is linked on Fruitless Pursuits. I'll do a link on our group. You can rate reviewers on iTunes. I keep remembering when I listen to other podcasts that really, in terms of the reviews and stuff, you don't have to think of something like incredible to say, or if you're going, these guys are going to, judge what I write or whatever, and I can't think of something to write. Really, what counts is that there is a review and a rating. So if you rate us 5 stars, you could put in any nonsense sentence that you like, really.
Bum nuggets.
And it would still have the same effect.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to do that and put something funny or silly, but give us that little boost in the charts, that'd be really good. One bit of news for next week is there probably will not be a show.
No, we are taking a wee little break, which we don't do very often.
Really burnt out at the moment. So much happening, not a lot of free time, and we normally sort of do this stuff on Saturdays. It takes a big chunk out of the weekend, and it means it's very difficult for both of us to do other appointments and things like that. So while you catch up on things, I'm going to be getting a big tattoo done on my other arm. I'm getting a realistic Scarlett Johansson Black Widow portrait by a very cool tattooist done on my arm. So I'm going to be doing that, and I've got a week off work. So that's going to be really nice to have a bit of a breather. But then we will return. We don't do it very often on this show. We usually here.
And then the next one back after that is my birthday episode.
There you go.
Because it's my birthday. Getting closer to Hollywood invisibility year after year.
Yeah, so your birthday, it'll be Force Friday.
It will. Oh, yes.
When all the Rogue One stuff comes out, we're going to go for a bit of a shop. I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know what movies. Miss Pelicans.
I'm seeing Bridget Jones' Baby tomorrow.
Oof. Magnificent Seven's coming out.
Yeah, I'm going to go and see that for my birthday.
A lot of stuff coming out.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing that, actually. I might see that at some point. I don't know. All right. Well, look, thanks.
That's it. And we'll see you in a fortnight. Google that if you don't know what a fortnight is.
2 weeks. And, just join us on the Facebook page and we'll chat.
Okay.
What a
Goodbye.
limp dick ending.